Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is a place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we're here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house, and we are so excited because whenever Coach comes in, we get to talk about our money. So So we're here to talk about how to bring profits in daily. And with that, I'm going to give the stage to Coach Caren. How you doing, Coach?
Good, good, good.
And let her introduce the subject today.
All right.
What are we talking about today, Coach?
Today we're talking about business prep, and it's a five-part series, but we're going to do three of them today, and
Oh,
that's part one, and we're going to do part two next week. Now
okay.
we're looking at the new business owner, right? That's what we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about today. The rest of the month, we'll talk about the ones who's there already. But we're looking at the newbies. We're looking at the ones who want to start. And I'm not going to talk about business registration. That's not kind of stuff I'm going to talk about today because you can go do that. And I might talk about that another time. But today, that's not what I'm talking about. We're
Mm,
talking about the touchy-feely part of it and a little bit of money. Because this is
okay.
important. Sometimes we want to get all these things ready, get a business registered, get the website up and running, but we're not doing anything else because we're just scared and worried. So that's not what we're going to talk about, right? We're going to talk about these things, these three things. Are you scared and excited at the same time? Like we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna dive into that part of it. What does judgment do to you? Like other people judging you. We want to know these sort of stuff. We want to have it on the spreadsheet so we can tap into what it does and then write it down. And I'll come back to why this is so important. Why this record that you're gonna set up for yourself is so important. And then fear. If it either moves us or it holds us back, and we have a choice which one it's going to be, which one we're going to let be. Okay, right, so that's what we're tackling today. That's what we're looking after.
Wow.
And why are we looking after this? Because when we understand this, we start after this stage, we start looking at the monies that we could make from this business, the time we need to plug into this business. This is what we want to do. Yes. Okay. So now, once we know that's what we want to do, sorry guys, I didn't turn off the sound. There we go. Now that we know that that's what we want to do, then we can register the business, get a domain, figure out a website, because now we understand these are the things that's going to come up. No, not everything, but the baseline. October is such a good month for planning in general, you and everything for the new year. Don't wait till November, December. I encourage you guys to start planning in October. You got 2 months to hit the ground running once you set it up in October to start all the nitty gritty I'm talking about. So January, you can say, hey, my business opened the 15th, the 14th, the 20th, whatever of January. So the following year, you get to celebrate the year anniversary. What happened? What went on? I'm telling you guys, it is one of the most beautiful things you can do for yourself. Last year, I set myself the 14-month year, and I'm so glad. I'm getting to the end. In December, once it is totally complete, I'm going to have it as an offering, just so you guys can see. And this is like my honest stuff is in there. You're going to see all the ups and downs, all the hills and valleys for that year, because when you're paying attention and you're journaling, like I wouldn't allow myself not to journal. The days I have like just a tiny paragraph. There's days where I have 4 or 5 paragraphs because of what happened for that day. But I journal. I've been journaling in the last year, November 1st, all the way I'm in October. And it's going to go up to December. Me journaling what happened within that year about business. Some personal is in there because that's just part of life. It just helps you to see. So what we're going to talk about today is helping you see how that's going to start getting set up. All right. Without any further ado, are you scared and excited at the same time? You need to just answer this question. You need to answer it. It is no right or wrong answer. Maybe you're only scared, but as you work through, you're starting to find excitement. Or maybe you are excited, and as you work through, you're starting to get scared because you're thinking, could I do all of this? So let me just address it. You're going to be both. That's just the way it is.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
You're going to be both, but it's such a good thing, though, Terry.
Is it really? I mean,
It's good. If you, I'm going to put this way, if you're young and you've been living at your mom for free forever and you now go out on your own, you're scared and you're excited at the same time. And what it does for you is stretch you. You need the stretch. That stretch is important for the new, for whatever that phase need to be. And it's preparing you for the second stretch. Life is about different stretches. If you do not stretch yourself, you're not growing. If
Mm-hmm.
you're in this young entrepreneur phase, and when I say young, I'm not talking age. You could be 50 and now starting. You're going to be stretching you.
Yes, because
There's
this is
no
all
getting
new.
around. Yeah. There's no getting around it. Your excitement is still going to be stretching you. Maybe you're coming in with experience and money. True. But you're still being stretched in different ways. And I want you to know it's okay to be both excited and scared. Just
Wow.
why
Okay.
not, Sean? Just be.
I wish someone had told me that because we're supposed to be all pumped up and constantly up and all of these adjectives that say that we should be working 24/7 on our business and we should know everything.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. They're here now. So they get to tell you this stuff. I love my brain. I love what God gave it to me that, I can really empathize way back and
Hmm.
still be in the now because I understand both things. I'm glad that I can push myself and pull myself that way. It's a really important skill to have. And just when you're here right now, don't forget about it when you start moving forward. Not to hold you back, but to have it in your, wherever you need to put it for yourself.
Mm.
Journal, in a book, write about it, those sort of things. Just even if it's just for you, just have it packed there, right? And understand it's okay. It's okay when you're going through a scared stage. Allow yourself to be scared because it doesn't last long. I know you feel it does because you're just in panic mood. Feel the fear, feel the scare feeling, and then ask that same feeling, what are you telling me? What am I afraid of? I want to always give you pointers to use. What am I afraid of? What is the worst can happen? And answer the questions. Am I going to fall over the cliff? Nobody would like me anymore. My family might not tolerate me. I might have to explain to them that I cannot explain to them because this is a fact. There's things that happening in your head when you want to start a business that you want to explain to people, but you're not clear enough to explain it to them. And you think that you can't say that because they might judge you, especially if you're a person who know that you don't know. And I can tell from personal experiences, when I transitioned into coaching, it was hard to explain to my husband about coaching because I couldn't clearly explain it because in his head, like, hey, why would people pay you for that?
Hmm.
Even if you know it's valuable. Don't misunderstand that they don't know your value. That's why they're telling you that. It's because they don't understand it yet because you are not as clear as you can be at the moment. But you don't understand that's what's happening. So you can tell somebody, I'm doing something new. It scares the pants off of me, and I don't know how to explain it to you yet.
Hmm.
And if they look confused and they're saying to you, well, why would you do it if you don't know how to explain it? You say, well, this is the phase of the business I'm in. And you leave it at that. Don't
Uh,
go further. Just leave it at that. This is the phase or the stage I'm in. And
hmm.
be okay with that. Now, if there's people around you that make you feel bad about it, okay. You can't do anything about how they operate, but you can decide in yourself. If I talk to X, Y, and Z, if I talk to Nate, he's gonna make me feel bad. If I talk to John, he's not gonna like it. Well, Nate and John are not the people to come to when you're in this state. They're the
Hmm.
celebrators for you. They're not the people in the trenches with you. But if
Okay.
Susan is somebody you can talk to without judgment, even if she don't understand, then Susan is your girl. Then Bob is your boy. Those are your two peeps that you go to. And when you're really hitting it high, you also want to still go to them and you want to say, hey, I'm happy that you were in the trenches with me. Can I take you for a coffee? Or could you, if they're not near to you, say to them, I am going to buy you a coffee. Or their coffee shop, send them a gift card so they can buy when they're liking it. Or
Hmm.
if they're not coffee drinkers and they like something in the grocery store, like for me, I love Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Oh,
Send them something that they can get themselves. You tell them a bottle of wine and a Haagen-Dazs ice cream. This is celebrating on me because here's what happened. and let them feel that they're part of that journey with you because they've been celebrating you. Let them know how important they are to you. All right.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
That's
This is good. This is, I never would have thought of that, to send, um, yeah, to send something if people are not local,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
um, when I'm celebrating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And little by little, when you can do it on Zoom or even, where we are here,
Mm-hmm.
StreamYard, you can get together, you can do that way too. It's just one of those things that you built in, and you start building your community. Because I talk about money principle, and Terry knows this. What people, money like their friends, and when you got great friends, other friends come on board. So that's how you start also building your community with the people who cheer you on. I don't want you to think that you can't talk to the people who is not in the trenches with you. It's just that they only get a tiny bit of anything. They
Mm.
don't get the large sum. They get
Okay.
a tiny bit. You say, I'm celebrating X, Y, and Z, and they say, woot, woot, and you move on. You don't harbor how they wasn't good, wasn't kind to you. No, they are playing there's a part of our journey that we don't like, where we must have the doubters, the people who upset us. And here's what their job is. Their job is to help you fight against what you're feeling. You either prove them wrong or you get sucked into what they told you. That's their
Mm-hmm.
job. You can't take their job away. Everybody can cheer for you. Just so we clear, everybody cannot cheer for
I
you.
think the most, what would you call, the most hurtful thing is when the people really close to you
Yes.
are not cheering for you.
Yes.
Spouses,
Yes.
children,
Yes. Yeah.
parents, co-workers,
Yes.
people that you interact with.
Yeah.
It can be anywhere,
Yes.
in that spectrum.
It's one of the hardest things. It's one of the hardest things. It
Mhm.
paralyzes you. And you guys know, I'm honestly, I always talk about myself when I put myself here. It paralyzed me for a whole year. That it's not because I wasn't doing business. So let me clarify. I was still doing business, but it paralyzed the growth of the
Mm.
business because somebody really close to me had not good things to say at
Mhm.
different intervals, and it would be injected at the most tender time. I would be the most vulnerable when it would happen, but they would
Mhm.
know because, of course, it's not somebody I want to tell what's
Yeah.
happening, and it would just hit me right down in the gut, you know. I would just feel the punch, and it paralyzed me for
Mhm.
nearly a year. And I watched myself go downhill without the understanding of what. So when I come and talk to you guys, this is from a place where I've lived feeling this feeling that was happening. I didn't know
Mm.
that I was feeling it because I wasn't used to it. Nobody had, I mean, I had people here and there, but I think my close people from the time I started business, they might not understood, but they never feel the need to put me in that position.
Mhm.
Let me put it that way. They might not be jumping up and down either, but they allow me to feel that I know what I'm doing, even when I don't know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
So to me, it's a still form of cheering me on. But when I first had this happen, it was just shock and just anger, frustration. I went through all the different emotions. And so that's why I've concluded that I need to leave room for it. Because when I leave room for it, the punch is there, but it's not as deep and I could recuperate faster. And so that's why I always bring that to the table. Leave room for it. Mhm. Important stuff. So you're scared, you're excited, guys. Well, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. And number two is, what does judgment do? And that's part of the parcel I'm talking about you, right? But let's go a little deeper with the judgment. Judgment, when somebody judge you, it could make you earn less. And you're like, what are you talking about? Your productivity go down. That's what I mean. You're not in the frame of mind to do all the things that you've decided you can do. And people will judge you mainly because they can do what you're doing. And part of them wish they could. Now, I'm not
Mm.
saying they can do it, but they haven't experienced it yet and they haven't pushed themselves to the place that they can do it. So, because they
Uh,
haven't done that yet, because you can do whatever it is you want to do. I remember
Mhm.
saying this to myself over and over again. And I was picking up something so heavy that I thought, God, Caren, and I told you guys all the time, suffered back pain. I said, God, Caren, there's no way you can pick this up. And I literally said to myself, I said, of course you can, because there's nobody else coming to pick it up for you. So you can pick it up. And I remember talking myself through this processes 7 to 8 times before I was able to pick it up. But I did pick it up. That's the point
Mhm.
here. I did pick it up.
Mhm.
So there is things that they could do, they haven't figured out they can do it yet. Maybe they don't even want to do it, but they want to make sure that you feel you also cannot do it. And so
Mm.
judgment form, you know,
Wow.
judgment form, you hear things about actually well being a woman, it could be race, it could be your financial level, it could be anything. I remember somebody saying this to me once, saying to me, I know right now you don't have the funds to do it. And the inexperienced me would have wanted to justify and showcase where the money was to do it. The older me, by the time this was spoken into me, I thought to myself, this is good. I'm not going to enlighten you
Uh-huh.
about my financial state. Just not going to do it.
I hear you.
And it's a
Wow.
good thing. It's a good thing because me being mature enough not to say it also allowed the person never able to borrow any from me. Later on, I found out she did borrow from other people and couldn't pay them back. So she
Mhm.
did me a service. So
Yeah, a lot of times we don't realize we we just we just don't realize what we're being protected from.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and it um feels really bad and makes you sad sometimes.
Hmm.
Only to find out later down the road it was a blessing.
Yeah, God, when God tell you to close your mouth, please listen and close your mouth. This was a close your mouth God situation because every part of me wanted to say, you don't know. But God was just closing my mouth. I shut my mouth. Now, I didn't know till years later that
Mhm.
what God was protecting me from. Matter of fact, a few years ago, I learned, you know, this individual has so much borrowed money around, and I would have been one of those that she
Yeah,
couldn't pay back.
certainly. You'd have got hit up. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have been on the list. Wow.
So allow yourself to, even when you can, to say nothing. It's gonna hurt.
That's good advice, coach.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna pinch a bit, but don't let them know. Don't let them any the wiser. Let them be in
Okay.
the space that they want to be in.
Well, I
And
tell people can tell when you have money, when you're experiencing success, because your whole demeanor changes. You're a lot more comfortable. You're a lot more relaxed. You don't have those lines over your forehead. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking, trying to think, um, because things get pretty comfortable,
hmm
and then they can just smell money on you because you,
hmm
you change so much.
yes, yes, yeah. Oh, it's so true, Terry. But sometimes when people's passing judgment, they can't even notice because they're busy judging you.
Yes, they are.
I can't even notice. So, you want to just make sure that you're understanding this. You're taking that into consideration. Don't go, pulling your hand. No, no, no. Don't go doing that. Don't overextending yourself because they're judging you. Don't justify. Just stay your course.
Hmm.
Staying your course will get you there faster than deviating because of situations. In that spreadsheet, have a column for flexibility and things that's going to come poke your way. I often tell my clients, I says, if you paid off your car note, somebody else is going to come take that car note money once you no longer need to pay for the car.
Hmm.
Before 3 months, or even a month before, but 3 months rather before the car note is to be paid off, I want you to find a different vehicle for that same amount of money. I want you to save for the new car because at some point you're going to need another car. But
Hmm.
you can use our money and don't say, oh, now I don't have to pay 500 or 300 more. No, I want you to take that money and put it in some kind of investment vault. Let it make you some money now so that when you're ready to buy the second car, A, you can buy cash. You don't have to go take a loan out for it. B, it's going to make you some money on top of your money. See,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna smile your way through a lot of things, and you're not gonna tell nobody because this is your little
Mm-hmm.
thing. Okay, okay, guys, this is your little thing.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes when you get yourself to this point, you're gonna smile throughout the day. Sometimes you don't even know why you're smiling.
There you go.
Because you've achieved this higher height.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a guy on YouTube and I said, yes, you're saying it. When you become a millionaire, nobody really knows except you. Nobody's going through your bank account and saying, oh, she just became a millionaire or wherever investment you are. Nobody's doing that. Just you know. And you can be jumping to the sky, and unless you tell somebody else, they don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't realize. Now, if you got a group of friends, a group of people, and that was the aim, then you probably be celebrating. But otherwise, you're like, wait, the world's still going on around me doing all the foolishness it's doing. Because nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
And that's a good thing, guys. That's a good thing. That's
It's
a good
a beautiful thing, people.
It's a beautiful thing. It
Mm-hmm.
is really a beautiful thing, you know. Fear. Let's talk about fear. Fear. It either moves you or hold you back. You can become a stone in fear. Fear could hold you there for years. Fear can hold you there for a moment. You have to decide. You got to look fear in the eye and behave and believe and be all you're going to have to be, all you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You have to decide. I myself had so many fears, so many things. When I look back, I'm not a big fear holder kind of person, so I'm gonna push myself through the kind of fear person. That's just who I am. I didn't know, but looking back at the things I do, it's just a push myself through kind of thing. When I got my sponsorship to come to Canada, was me and my son, and my father informed me just the week before I was ready to travel that I can't bring my son with me. And I went into sheer panic mode. I freaked out. I cried. I screamed. I was so upset. This is one of the God is looking out for you moment, but I couldn't see it because I was just pissed. I was like, how you could do this to me? Like, how you could rip me away? My child is only 5. Like, how this is unfair? Like, the whole gamut. And I was at the point where, what am I going to do? Should I just stay and forget it? I mean, this is something I wanted since I was 5 years old. I was my son's age when I pronounced that I was going to come. And
Mm-hmm.
now that 21 years later, this is happening, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to tell everybody and get their opinion, but I did not. Again, this is a God movement here. I sat with it for 24, then 48 hours. I was around my 36th hour when I decided that I need to speak to somebody, but it can't be the people right in front of me. And there was this lady that she worked for a friend of mine. She did, you know, the babysitting and clean the house, what have you, up and down. But we were very close. We gotten very close. And she was coming in to work the morning. I tell her, I said, I want to talk to you. And I'm telling her, she said, so you made a decision, Karen, because I know you. I said, yes, I decide I'm going to go. She goes, she hugged me tight, tight. She didn't say anything. She just hugged me tight. And she said, because she was like a 6 foot something lady. So she was like, but she just held on to me like very, very tightly. And then she said a little prayer and then she moved me away. She says, that's the choice to make. That's the right choice. It's a hard choice, but it's the right choice. I don't even know why it's the right choice, but it's the right choice. And then I went inside and I said a little bit. I told my grandma, I told my siblings and stuff. And they're like, you really going to do that? I'm going to say, yeah. She was the right person for me to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
She was the right person for me to talk to for so many different reasons. But I didn't know initially. I just knew I let myself be open and led. And sometimes when fear is tight around your throat,
Mm-hmm.
give yourself time and then speak to the right person. You need a human. You can pray about it, but I feel you need a human.
And sometimes you may need to talk to people who are not part of your immediate circle because they have the same fears.
Yes, yes. I'm going to dip right into why she was the right person. She had a handicapped daughter after she got her late in life. And we always would talk and I would tell her what she could do, what she couldn't do. And she says, Karen, you're the one that helped me to be where I'm at today. Because when I first got this job, I want to quit the 30. I went home and just the way who was helping didn't treat my daughter. And you let me know if I don't make enough money, I can't give her a better life. And I'm giving her a better life. I was able to buy her a wheelchair. I was able to improve the bed because I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a sacrifice. You're doing the exact same thing, just that you're leaving the country.
Okay, there you
God
go.
brings it right back around. My skin is growing as I tell you this.
Ah,
God brings it right back around. And when I landed in Canada, within 24 hours, I understood why I couldn't bring him.
okay.
Why it made sense.
Mm,
Have to be there to see why it makes sense, right? So that's
yes.
another time. But let me tell you, God listens, He knows before you do, and He guides you. You got to be open and listening and allow Him to just guide you. And I tell you, every single time, you're going to be in the right place doing the right thing to get to the other next place. I promise
Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, this has been really enlightening. Um, you're going to be scared and excited.
you. Yes.
We're going to face judgment. I think this is so true, and we don't really label it. All we know is that somebody said something, and the
Yeah.
next thing you know, we're not doing what we're supposed to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then the fear comes because we're not making what we're supposed to make because we reacted to the judgment.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
so that paralyzed us. And we
Yes.
stopped doing the activities that were bringing in money.
Exactly. And those are way more important than your website and register your business. Dot com.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Dot com. That'll happen. You can decide on LLC or for us, sole proprietorship or whatever. You'll get there. And that'll be
Mhm,
okay. I'll be okay. Get there. But you'll deal with these stuff because once you get these off your plate,
mhm.
next week we'll talk about the rest, to get you up and going and get the other stuff moving. And guys, if you're just starting out, this is for you. This is what we covered today. This is for you because um, part one, yeah, part one, this is for you. Um, we know there's people here that is in business already, and we'll look after the other plan in the later of the month. But if you're starting off, I wanted to come in and just give you this. Here's what you could do. Here's how to get you moving and going.
Wow. Well, I want people to know that if they are looking to get started, they may need to take this course. Coach, let me see which one is the course. This one right here. Correct? Is this
Yep, yep. There we go.
so you may need to take Coach Caren's course because this is a course on establishing your goals,
Mm-hmm.
on mapping out the future.
Yes,
So
yes.
you may want to look into
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
This
I'm
is a
telling you.
great time to do this. This
Great
course
time.
is
Great.
so timely.
Great.
Um, and in addition to that, you may want to actually um, book a meeting with Coach Caren
We'll
and
do that.
just talk about, what's
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
for 2024.
Yes, yes,
Okay?
yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Terry.
With that, I want to remind you that it's okay to make money in your business. Come
Yes,
on, people.
yes, it is.
Let's make some money. That's
Mhm.
the whole point of going into business.
It is. It
So
really
if
is.
you're having challenges with your social media or you need to brainstorm, give us a call here at BizChicks. You can connect with us by texting biz to 33777, or you can go on our website at bizchicks.net
Yet.
and just connect with us. We'd love
Yes,
to help you out. Um, and it's our pleasure. We want
yes.
to remind you that we're here to help take the hassle out of your
Out of
hustle
your vessel.
and help you run a profitable business that's fun to run.
True. Exactly.
So, with that, we want to remind everyone we'll be here tomorrow talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And on Friday, we'll be talking tech and English. In the meantime, hey, go out and have a great day.
Right there.
What Coach taught us about getting started. Just, hey, this is all about business prep. So, with that, we want to invite you back next week for part two. Now that we've dealt with the emotional part of all of this, oh my goodness, we talked today about being scared and excited at the same time, handling judgment and handling fears. Wow, that covers just about everything, whether it's our business or our personal life.
Yes.
Thank you again,
You're
Coach.
welcome.
Bye bye, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.